Not a real boxer.
Of course he's a real boxer.
No chance.
He's a professional boxer.
I saw Tommy Fury box. He is not a boxer.
Well, he's definitely a boxer.
Well, he puts on gloves.
He's definitely a boxer. Here's Tommy Fury. You telling me this guy doesn't look like a boxer? You're out of your mind.
Who is he fighting?
But I don't give a dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer. The guy's fighting looks good. Dude, you're crazy if you don't think Tommy Fury's a boxer. Look at that uppercut. Shut the up, dude.
No.
Shut the up. Watch this.
Find the Tommy Fury. Find the Tommy Fury fight on the Jake Paul card.
Shut the up.
This guy cannot.
Please shut the up and watch this. Watch what he's doing. This motherfucker is 100% a boxer.
Can you find me the record of
Watch this. Stop. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this.
What is that?
This guy's boxer,
that
man.
doesn't prove anything. Find me the record of Bonkiansky.
Just look at this. Tommy Fury is 100% a legit boxer. You're out of your mind if you don't. Look at this.
What?
Look at that right hand.
That was in slow motion.
No, it's not in slow motion.
I think you slowed that down.
No,
I didn't do anything, but this is a highlight reel.
This is a highlight reel. But look at his highlight reel. Look at his highlight reel. He is 100% a legitimate professional boxer. If you don't think so, you're just being a hater. Just watch some of this. Dude, this is legit boxing. Watch this. You're out of your mind if you don't think this. Look at this.
Can we rewind that one? Can we rewind and show the punch that guy in the red trunks threw? That was
because the guy's already rocked.
No, he wasn't rocked when he threw that.
He absolutely
fight because I'll put my net worth on Jake Paul.
What if Tommy Fury boxes him up? What are you going to do then?
He won't. He won't
know that. I don't know that.
I was at the fight, the Jake Paul fight in Cleveland. Tyrone Woodley won, and Tommy Fury fought on that undercard. He was the worst fighter I've ever.
From NASA. How come they don't have any?
They don't have that space. That
they don't have the technology?
No, they just never did it.
They also don't give a fuck about proving it's round. These Japanese pictures, I've seen them. Put them up.
They don't
They're
have
terrible.
that kind of
Show me a real picture. Show me a real picture.
Listen, NASA does not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
That's fake as
Why does it look fake?
It looks something you would see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie, they try to make it look like this, which is what looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6 moon landings.
Stop saying that because it's irrelevant. We're not talking about the same people.
It looks fake to me.
Eddie, that's 1969. We're talking about 2017.
That looks fake.
So you think there's some gigantic conspiracy involving the Japanese government where they put up a fake picture of the Earth from 22,000 miles up every 10 minutes? High resolution, downloadable photo. You think it's fake? Is there a photo of this flat Earth?
No, like I just said again. There's no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo of the round Earth from space.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's all fake.
No, why do you say they're fake though?
They look fake. They look CGI.
But you're not an expert in you keep repeating is.
Okay.
And this thing that you keep, but don't, no.
Hey, where did you get this information?
Jamie.
Where'd you get it?
Where'd I get what?
This information. Where is this coming from?
It's coming off the internet.
Exactly. So you're reading some information. I'm reading some information off the internet. You didn't go to the library. It's on Wikipedia?
Just slow down.
Eddie, stop doing that.
There's sources here. There's a book called the American Journal of Science. I'm sure that a lot of people respect
Which is bought and paid for.
Well, maybe.
It is. It's bought and paid for. It's part of that.
Here's the thing, Eddie.
It's like the Washington Post.
Eddie,
no,
Eddie, they're not. They're not.
Huge.
They're not getting knocked down. That's why we just read this thing that you've been citing, and you didn't even understand it when we were reading it. But that's how
you read off the internet.
I read it off the internet
too. I read it off the internet too.
I don't have any books here. I'll go find the encyclopedia if you want.
No, we're both reading off the internet. We're both getting our information off the internet.
Doesn't have a strong Christian heritage. It's a f***ed up place with bad morals.
That's a ridiculous statement. That's a ridiculous statement. Everywhere that doesn't have Judeo-Christian values is a f***ed up place.
I think that, yes, I think it should be perfectly reasonable, respectable thing to say that our culture is better. I believe our culture is better than everywhere else in the world.
Culture of Christians.
I think European
ketamine and each other.
European and American culture, which is based on Judeo-Christian values, is better than other cultures. I think it's uncontroversial to say so.
But what's based on Judeo-Christian values about being a good person?
Ultimately, our sense of right and wrong comes from the Bible.
What?
It does.
What comes from the Bible?
Ultimately, our sense of right and wrong comes from the Bible.
Our sense of right and wrong. The only way that a person could have ethics and morals and treat each other well.
No, I didn't say the only way.
Don't you think that people understand what's good and what's bad? Listen, if we're going to have a conversation, we can't keep talking over each other like this. When someone's trying to make a point about something that's complex like this, if you think that the only way for a person to have ethics or an understanding of each other or compassion for each other is to rely on ancient myths that are easily scientifically disproven, well, that's what Christianity is.
No, I didn't say that. I said that the specific set of values that you have is influenced more than you would like to admit by your Judeo-Christian heritage.
It's influenced by
there are certain things that
who you are. Being a gay man
who I am.
That's
how
promiscuous.
I behave. It's what I do.
But that is prohibited in the Bible.
Yeah. yes, but I agree that it would be better if I didn't behave like this, and if I could
choose
to be heterosexual,
so you're a
I would do so.
self-loathing homosexual.
No, and I won't have this. You need to read a wonderful essay by Bret.
No, I don't need to read shit. I need to know what the f*** you're saying.
Okay, so Bret Easton
Because what you're saying is who you are.
No, it's not who you
prohibited
it's not
in the
who
Bible.
you are, because I don't think my sexuality is an important component
It's a
of my
huge part of you. You talk about it all the time.
Well,
it's a massive part of what we've talked about on the show.
I think
it comes up anytime you want to make a funny point. It comes up anytime you want to define your sexuality or your urges or your decadence. You jump to it because I think it's you.
I tell you right now, you're going to cruise ship. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. You can go. Alex, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, you raise the money for a trip to South.
No, raise the money. I got the money.
Okay, you got the money.
You want me to choke you out?
Listen, this is the deal. This is the deal. This is the deal.
Go pee, man.
Are you gonna go pee? No, this
You're
is the deal.
gonna.
Don't hurt him.
Listen, shut up.
The plan.
You're going to the ice wall. Listen, he's the ambassador for Flat Earth. He's the ambassador. We're praising him. Forget astronauts. The guy that discovers the flat Earth, the big ice fields. Listen,
that guy's going to be a
This is what we're going to do, Alex. Alex, this is what we're going to do.
Get you
Can you give me
50-ton
Can you
ship
give me 20 seconds
with an entire crew that you're in command of?
No.
You are going to the edge of the flat Earth.
Totally. But it's not going to be me. I'm gonna designate somebody. Because I'm too scared. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
We'll send Joe Rogan.
Yeah. No. We're gonna do this.
Joe,
I'm gonna send someone else.
You're gonna find the edge of the world. Big ice caps, cats that are knocking things off.
I'm gonna film the drop off with my iPhone.
Yes.
Go pee, man. Go pee. Don't you have to go?
We're gonna send someone else, Alex. But we're gonna do this.
Hey,
you know what? We're gonna do this. I don't have to be the one that goes.
I gotta pee in a minute.
I don't have to be the one that goes.
I gotta pee in a minute. Let me tell you something right now. I came here and I proved they're keeping babies alive and taking their organs.
How did you prove that?
They're admitting it.
Jamie pulled some shit up on Google.
No, they admit it now.
That's you too.
They're normalizing it. No, the governor. Listen to me.
Do you really think there's people out there campaigning for late-term abortions? You think that shit's real? You think that shit's real?
Voted Monday to keep it legal.
Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would campaign for? That's the most.
Fucking did it,
that is the craziest shit ever.
You can't fucking admit they're fucking killing already born kids. So you're telling me it isn't real when they had a fucking vote in the goddamn fucking Senate?
That's a conspiracy theory.
I'm ready to beat your
That's a conspiracy theory.
You think you're fucking tough? You're about to get it. Bullshit! They're killing already born babies. Stop fucking lying. God fucking damn it! I'm getting pissed now.
Don't get pissed. Go.
No, I mean you saw the dude. It's going.
I'm just fucking with you.
Alex, type in right now.
Alex,
the fucking Senate, the fucking Senate voted to kill babies after they're fucking born.
I was just playing with you. Of course I believe that, Alex.
Let me explain.
Of course I believe.
Eddie,
it's all over the news.
Eddie,
I was just playing with you.
Let me explain to you. Suzanne Humphreys.
Educate his ass.
Suzanne Humphreys explained tetanus.
She's not a vaccinologist. I know that woman. What are you talking about? So you're saying
she's a medical doctor that absolutely understands tetanus. She said tetanus, all you have to do is keep the wound open and clean it.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. Do you know how many people die of tetanus every year? Very few.
What about polio?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
Don't do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
So are we not? So you don't believe in vaccines? You don't think we should have vaccines?
It's not that I don't believe in vaccines.
What are you saying?
It's I don't think you should give a kid a Hep B vaccine when they're a baby.
Different subject.
You have to, MMA vaccine is absolutely connected to a host of serious, debilitating fucking problems that kids have gotten from them. There's a lot of problems because they don't test vaccines in a double-blind, placebo-controlled setting. They test them against other vaccines. You know that, right?
Yes, I do. Excuse me. Let me just say something. Yes, you're right. You can make the argument for Hep B. Here's why. Because the chances of a child coming in contact with the kind of activity that causes Hep B is different. So now
sexually transmitted disease and needles.
So now you say this. You say this. That chance is zero. The chance for vaccine injury with the Hep B is not zero. It's non-zero. Okay, so I understand that math. Okay, what I'm trying to say to you is that there are certain diseases. Pick up a history book. Smallpox. Diphtheria, mumps.
Have you ever looked at
tetanus, polio, paralytic diseases?
Have you ever polio? Please stop.
Yes. No, I won't. I won't. I know you think it's just. I've heard Susan Humphreys.
This is a long conversation that we're not going to have on this podcast because I'm going to get angry because I've researched this for years.
Right.
Let's just
But you're not a scientist.
I don't have to be a scientist to know that.
Yes, you do.
No, Brian, shut the fuck up. I don't have to be a scientist to read research to understand that they were spraying DDT all over the fucking country when everybody was getting polio. Do you know that?
Yes,
you know
I do.
the first
Yes,
instances
I
of polio, they happened in rural communities where they were all farmland and agriculture, and then cows were getting them, and horses were getting them, and dogs were getting them.
Let me make a statement.
They were calling it paralytic polio.
Do you agree with the following statement? It's not just...
I'm not going to do this with you,
But
Brian.
it's not just about...
I brought up vaccines.
It's not just about... Hold on. Joe.
No,
it's
Brian,
not
I don't want to do this with
but
you.
it's not just about...
We're in the middle of a fight companion. It's annoying.
All right, but it's like... Being anti-vax.
No one's anti-vax,
It's not anti-vax. Questioning why there's so many, though.
My kids are all vaccinated. And they're vaccinated, but they went on a delayed schedule. They delayed schedule.
So did mine. So did mine.
You're not?
Yeah, you're not. No.
Yeah, good for you. I don't think you need to.
No, they're healthy as fuck.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, they have 12 touchdowns this week. 2 home runs.
I think the problem is that the pharmaceutical drug companies have an exemption because of what they did in the 1980s with Reagan, where they allowed them to never worry about being sued. And that's when they ramped up the fucking schedule. And that's also the correlation. When you look at all the fucking host of all sorts of diseases and issues
Just
that
look
start
at
happening with
autism.
kids.
It's through
Autism
the fucking
is just
roof.
one. There's a lot of other autoimmune issues. There's a lot of like serious problems.
I think there are 3 things that have pushed us beyond our biology, and the reason we don't have a lot of children dying: nutrition, sanitation, and vaccines. And I think anybody who says otherwise is, I think it's crazy.
But you can't say all vaccines be.
I didn't say all vaccines.
But he's not saying all vaccines.
I get very worried when people
he's not
start
saying all
saying
vaccines.
It sounds like he is.
Brian, you don't know what the fuck I'm saying. You don't.
Well, I know because you don't want to talk about it.
Brian, I don't want to talk about it in the middle of a podcast because it'll completely derail the podcast. And I'll start showing you statistics. If you look at when people stop getting all of these diseases and then when the introduction of vaccines happen, it's at the end, after the diseases have already gone through the population. Most of those diseases were eradicated by sanitation and nutrition.
Yes,
there was a
correct.
huge problem in this country. People were living in fucking squalor.
I agree. But there's still pathogens that are very dangerous.
Sure there are. So the problem is that these pharmaceutical drug companies are fucking insanely, entirely corrupt. They have been corrupt for a long fucking time, and there's a revolving door between the FDA and these pharmaceutical drug corporations. They go from the FDA into these positions. They have this golden parachute, and then they ramp up the fucking schedule every year, and it's not about public health. None of it is about looking out for you. All of it is about making money.
First of all,
just because someone gets in an accident and they're high. Hold on, stop.
No, hold on a second.
You interrupt way too much. You need to stop.
You talk
Hold
in
on
paragraphs.
a second. No. I don't talk in paragraphs. I make full points. If people are high a lot and the same amount of fatalities exist, but the people that get checked once they get into these accidents happen to be high, it does not necessarily mean that marijuana caused those fatalities. It could be that you have an increased incidence of people doing marijuana and altercations that could not have been avoided.
It could be.
So all these things are good. Marijuana is one of the things that are good. And don't shore, man. Just like you don't shore turmeric, you don't shore ginger, you don't shore a reduced sugar diet. All those things that reduce inflammation are good for you.
I don't buy that smoking marijuana would be as beneficial as a reduced sugar diet. And my point is that people get so offended by me saying that and saying, but if you want to smoke, go ahead.
You might be correct.
Shouldn't be offensive.
But it doesn't matter because it's not a contest to see what's the most beneficial. You're the guy that thinks people should be able to do whatever. You're a free market guy,
that's
right?
What I just said.
So if you're a free market guy, why wouldn't you be in support of something, whether it's the most beneficial or equally beneficial?
Just said I am.
But you're not necessarily because you're denying.
But because now of the chemical compound.
Face. You're denying.
Watch it. Come on. It's been a good conversation.
We're friends. I'm just joking. Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado are at near historic lows.
You haven't bringing up the source that you want to find.
Washington
Bring
Post.
up the study right there. Yeah, Washington Post. Bring up the study that we wrote. We wrote about it on our website.
Look, I don't care about your website, you Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado
Since you called me a
Since you called me
a puss, and you do this with the crazy lady at a comedy club,
buddy,
you think if you scream enough that it makes a point. My point is, I don't care about it.
I don't think that if we
Smoke
scream
up.
enough.
And you just said I was interrupting. You're interrupting now and screaming.
Because
I don't care about it
put
enough.
up a post and you're not
But I don't buy
ignoring
that it's as valuable as a low sugar diet. And the fact
doesn't have to be as valuable.
That you can't have a conversation about this as civilly as you did every other issue tells me that there's a problem. This is a TNT powder keg.
I can't. The problem is I get very defensive when people start talking over me.